On today's episode, I'm going to be turning this hot mess into something much more appealing. So if you want to see how I do it, stick around. This is Building Batuu. Right, sons, brick fans, and welcome back to another episode of Building Batuu. I'm Brickmad Sam, and I am back from my trip to Batuu myself, and I brought myself a little friend. Hey! Yes, that was my friend Babu that I brought back from Batuu, but that's not all I brought back. I brought back a lot of inspiration and also a whole bunch of really awesome reference that I took when all of the people were rushing to get on the rides. I raced in the other direction to try and get as many good references across Batuu as I could in the 15 minutes before all of the crowds were there. I got a bunch of really cool pictures that is really going to help me finish off this beast of a build that we've been embarking on for the last long while. But now I'm back and I'm very happy to be back building Batuu, and on today's episode we're going to be looking at fixing up a section of the build that's been bothering me for a bunch of months, and that is around Savi's and the droid depot. I'm going to attempt to fix that little section with a bunch of layout fixes and also just get stuck in to building out those interiors. Alright, let's not delay, let's hit that hyperdrive and jump straight in. This corner section was never particularly working for me. I always wanted to have both the droid depot and Savi's workshop, particularly Savi's workshop, on the edge so that I could get some side shots. Now I've actually had a different kind of opinion about this after visiting the park, so I've moved back to what is more true to the park, where the droid depot is essentially behind Savi's workshop, which is kind of what I've reconfigured it to be now, with the milk stand then facing in towards the rest of the build, which is again very true to the park layout. It's a little bit further up than it is in the park in relation to Doc Ondar's, but I think this layout is definitely going to still help the overall build and just the general layout. Now it does mean that I have to make a few changes to this because this droid depot is going to be viewed mainly on the side, so you'll see me sort of opening up this window here, and also with Savi's workshop it meant that I had to make some changes because I still want to be able to get that really nice looking side images when I shoot this eventually. So I'm gonna have to come up with something fantastic for that to work, and I think it's probably going to mean like a removable facade or something like that. So yeah, for now let's just jump into this little time lapse and we'll see how we end up. this is the midway point, I guess, of today's show. We've got the droid depot, which is pretty close to finish, minus the lights that need to go in the flooring that is just here in this section and along the sides there, as you can see. The blue that's showing through, those will actually all be kind of uplights, so you get this kind of cool lighting effect that's going to happen. Then I've got to go and do the entranceway, which is going to be done in this kind of dark bluish grey and kind of continue along here. So I've got to go find the pieces for that. And also the conveyor belt at the moment needs to still go in. I'm going to knock out that wall just there. And then also here a little bit, and then have it kind of come in and around. I'm gonna have to play around with that a little bit. I do have some of this this Lego track here, so I'm gonna try and get something kind of looking like that, and then get a whole bunch of like droid parts and stuff kind of on there and making it look like it's going to work. I don't think it's going to be able to move, unfortunately, just because running out of space and also just a bit of time constraint. But yeah, I think that generally, I think that's going to work out pretty well. I've still got to put some tiles in here. I'm going to do some medium nougat tiles for this section, so I do have to go and find some of those also, and then just finish building up the roof. Now this is basically the paneling. You can see the size of the panel here that you're going to be able to see through. This is actually going to go up a little bit higher as well. It's not actually going to cut it here. It's probably going to be about that tall. So it's going to be quite tall. You're going to be able to see right in there. And I should be able to get some really nice shots. And then over to Savi's. So this layout definitely is working pretty well. The only problem with Savi's is that I still need to finish this front facade, but it also needs to be kind of somewhat removable as well. So I'm going to have to figure out whether or not I slide it out that way, which is probably the most likely option, where I basically take this whole front section and pull it out, because I do want to be able to take some shots kind of from this direction. And obviously if I have the facade in the way, I won't be able to do that. So I need to be able to just shift this right out. And I think that that will work pretty well, but obviously this is going to have a fair bit of detail because this is the front facade. So it is going to be a little bit tricky. Maybe I'll be able to keep the ceiling in there and then just slide out the front facade, which might make it a little bit easier. But for the moment, I'm going to go over to this section here and just finish building off this wall, which will be one side of sort of Savi's workshop entrance. Well, there we go. That little wall is finished, and I've also just finished off the front facade part, at least the base part for it. So the idea is that it's going to slide right out. So I've got to make sure that I build nothing in the way so that I can still do some shots in there, some really nice shots of Savi's workshop in the interior. And then basically, again, I've just put some tiles down here so that it does slide in, and then there's a little slope there just to hold it in place. And then I'll also put some extra parts in this section as well. But this will just nicely kind of slide in. You'll see that I've also put that nice little cabinet there as well, which just holds it in place. And then I'll have some things up a little bit higher in the roof section just to hold it in at the top as well. I'll probably even put a little handle on here that will be maybe looking like some piping or something, just so that it blends in, but just something that I can easily sort of pull it out. So that's going to have to swing out the whole way here. So when I actually build the rest of the milk stand in, I'm going to have to be wary of how far out I build that, just to make sure that it doesn't sort of impede the pulling out of this. And then this will all be kind of tiled area down here. So that should work out pretty well. But I think overall, I think we've made some really good progress for the interiors for both the droid depot in here, which is looking quite good. I think that little top section here is really working now nicely. I like that, how that's working out. And all the tiling I think is working pretty well. Once we get that uplighting in there, it's going to look pretty good. And also you'll see here I found another one of these pieces, so I've got to get a few more of the additional curved slopes for here just to continue across, but I think that's working pretty well. I've also got that nice little detailing in here, and then I think once we pull out this and have this come up here, I'm going to try and do a little droid depot. I may even do like a custom sticker for it just to sort of make it work, but have like a little decal here of the droid depot so you know sort of where you are. And then, of course, Savi's workshop banner will go up here with a few little canopies just in and around there. But you can see generally how this is all fitting out, and I'm much happier with this section of the build now. I think it really is going to work out well. It still gives me some ability to do some interior shots, which is going to work out pretty good. And then the next step is to look at the first order base and how this works in to the landing pad for the TIE Echelon fighter. But I'm actually going to probably have a look at the scale of this one as well, and might have to just adjust this a bit because I want to be able to have the main gate here and then kind of incorporate it a little bit more. I think this one probably stands out a little bit too much when you look across the whole build. I think this one probably stands out, not just because it's got crazy like rainbow colors at the moment, but I think it just stands out architecturally a little bit, and I think maybe to scale just got to adjust it a bit to make it work. So I'm going to look at the sort of sizing for the main gate in this section, and then also here I may even put a little bridgeway in between the two of these, and then the TIE Echelon will sit up here, so we'll be able to do some really kind of nice shots as you sweep past the TIE Echelon out to the spaceport. So there you go. We're making some progress here. I'm really pumped to be back building this thing after my trip to Batuu, and let's bounce into the wrap-up. Well, there you go, Brick fans. I think we have that problem that I've been having with that section solved now. So the only outstanding thing is just how I work that first order base in and the landing platform with the main gate. I think the rest of it is looking really, really good. It still gives me the abilities to be able to take some of those interior shots that I wanted on both the droid depot and in Savi's workshop. So that is a big bit of progress today, and I'm looking forward to bringing even more to you in the coming weeks. Now, I have a few Bricklink orders that are going to be coming in, and that is really going to help me complete the marketplace and also get me started on some of the spires for the spaceport. Building Batuu will be back very soon. I am going to be working on getting some very large updates as opposed to doing smaller incremental ones. I want to give you guys something a little bit more substantial in each update. So I'm hoping to get them out weekly, but probably more likely going to be fortnightly, just so that we can really get some good stuff moving forward. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well if you enjoyed today's video. And of course, if you have anything to ask or want to comment on today's vid, please drop your comments below. And until next time, till the spire, and may the bricks be with you.